Excuse me. Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P4. Thinking right in my living room where I do what I do for you. Today, I'd like to do a lesson for you. We're starting to get into the lesson sessions now. I'm starting to get back what I do for you. All right, use a little bit of book, a little bit of my stuff. Okay, writers in 25 Rules to Live By. Storytelling, story with a message. Message is a story for life. I'm giving you life lessons. This is going to be good. You need to get it. All right, here you go. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment, knowing yourself a little bit better. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to attain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's the question I always ask, because right thinkers, we need to know who we are for ourselves. Here you go. Know thyself. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. I could teach you. Tune in. That's why I do what I do for you. A person who knows not and believes that they know, dangerous, I'll avoid you. A person who knows not that they know is asleep. I can awaken you with spiritual knowledge. I'm a spiritual alarm clock. Let's go. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to Maya, be true. Yeah, you got to keep the scales. You got to keep the balance. The only way you can do it is live, do, and be right. Today, title of this one is, I'm going to read a section out of my glorious light meditation. I'm still into my meditation mode right now. So I'm going to teach you a little something about awakening. This was called the goal of right thinkers, or the great awakening. What I mean by that, let's go. What is the purpose of right thinkers? What is the purpose of all disciplines of right thinking spirituality? What's the purpose? The end of all right thinking disciplines is to discover the meaning of who I am, to unravel the mysteries of life, and to fathom the depths of eternity and infinity. This is the task of all human beings, and it is to be accomplished in this very lifetime. You get a lifetime to do this. Okay? Got another section over here I want to read. Now, they asked the question, how could become the master right thinker? Watch this. This can be done by learning the ways of the Netaru, which is the god and goddesses, emulating them, and finally becoming what? Like them. Spiritually, Akhu. That's AKHU. That means enlightened beings. I'm a sage because I teach spiritual truths. An enlightened being is anybody who learned that truth for themselves. You're an Akhu, an enlightened being. That's what I want all my right thinkers to be. Everybody's not going to be a sage. Everybody had to be a sage. Everybody not preaching. Everybody not minister. So it's ain't for everybody. But it's things you can do for yourself. Become enlightened. Know yourself. Walking the earth as giants and accomplishing great deeds such as the creation of the universe. The same person who created the universe, the same spirit, the same consciousness, the same infinite wisdom is inside you. That's what they taught. That's what I'm teaching. Please understand that. Let's go. I'm about done. The Kemetic word, Nehast. You hear me use that word, Nehast. It means attaining that sublime highest goal of life, which is spiritual enlightenment. To experience the state of consciousness, awareness of oneness with who? The divine and all creation, which transcends individuality, born of ego consciousness, meaning you have an ego, you're conscious of that. You need to get conscious of your spiritual divinity, which is God. That's how spiritual enlightenment is for. Sorry, I'm getting a little excited, but yeah, I'm in my warehouse now. I'm rolling. I'm doing the TD Jakes right now. I'm trying to put it down, try to explain it. I'm trying to give it emphasis because it's important. That's how passionate I am about what it is I do for you. Okay, now watch this. Like the river uniting with the ocean, discovering the greater essential nature of itself. Your higher self is God. I keep telling you that. Becoming God conscious is knowing who you are. I don't make it up. I study, I read, I comprehend, I understand, and then I put it together and I give it to you. It should be digestible. It should be understandable. Sorry about that. In that state which bestows abiding blessedness, peace, and watch this, blessedness, abiding blessedness, peace, and here's my word, bliss, contentment, fulfillment, freedom from all limitations, and supreme empowerment. Once you know yourself, these are things that you will have under your control. But you have to put work in, you have to acquire, you have to do things to make that happen. That's where right living comes in. Let me wrap it up for you. The ultimate goal of life is Nehast. Nehast means spiritual awakening. It is the spiritual awakening that leads one to discover the glory of life beyond death, discovering immortality, eternity, and supreme peace while living on earth. This is before you pass away. This is what's called the Great Awakening, Nehast, the awakening of spiritual consciousness. Okay? Please understand that. I'm going to wrap it up with this one. The question is how to attain that lofty goal, Nehast. Glad you asked. That's what I do for you. Teach you how to do that. That's right. Thinking philosophy job. Just because all religions are striving for that does not mean they are engaging the correct methods to achieve that goal. They may have the dogma, I keep telling you, the idea, but that does not mean they have the how, which is the knowledge. Okay? One cannot attain resurrection, the spiritual awakening, just by faith and belief alone. Faith must be followed by action. Prayers with no work, dead. Faith with no action, same thing. Living in accordance with the teachings, that's what I do. I teach you things that you can live with that help you do what we try to get done. That leads to growing understanding and finally experience of the divine. The mystical experience, Christians, that's the third level of studying. Get the myth, practice the ritual, and experience the transformation. I'm about to wrap this up and get to my lesson. All right. But you got to remember, the end of all. Oh, that's cool. I'll stop there. That's enough. That's enough. I got enough there. Okay, now. Hope that was good for you. I enjoyed it. Wow, I took all my lesson out. I'm about to get busy. Let's go. Right thinkers. Now that we discussed that, let's talk about becoming conscious and reaching Nehast, a.k.a. knowing yourself. This is what you have to do. As right thinkers, your goal is to reach consciousness, Nehast. Find yourself. Through what? Daily practice of living. Right thinking philosophy, Maya. The ultimate goal in life is to reach Nehast, a.k.a. have a spiritual awakening. That's what I want for all my right thinkers. That's personal. And we all can have it and share in it because that's what it's all about. By doing this with daily practice, you will discover the glory beyond death, meaning you're preparing for the afterlife, if you believe in that sort of thing. Okay. Nehast is the most coveted goal for us humans is supreme bliss, Hotep, peace from within. Acquiring self-knowledge, waking up spiritually, you will reach the state of Nehast where you are comfortable in who you are and what you're doing. Some people call it being Christ-like, whatever you call it. I call it being blissed out. Why? When you're comfortable in what you're doing, you're in the blissful state. That's what being blissed out means. Awakening to your spiritual consciousness, whether it be in Christianity, Islam, Judaism, but awakening to yourself is a blissful state of being for anybody. Aware of yourself is Nehast. Let's talk about this. Waking up is becoming aware of yourself. And the whole goal is to reach Nehast. So it takes process. It takes learning. It takes studying. It takes work putting in. It takes a little while to achieve it. It ain't easy. That's why everybody ain't doing it. Right think philosophy goal is to get you to that Nehast state where Knowing yourself is what you came to do. I'm going to help you do that and you reach it. That's called mastery. Knowing thyself. You reach that state of Nehast. It ain't a grade. No. It's you knowing you. I use right thinking philosophy to reach my state of Nehast. Anointment, Christhood, whatever you want to call it. But I use what I teach to get what I have acquired over a period of 30 years. Knowing yourself is becoming awakened with what knowledge that you learned about yourself. Awakening is meaning you awakening to you, the great awakening. See where I'm going with this? Knowing, okay, I know how to get that highest level because I've been putting my time in and I've done it. I'm trying to teach others how to do it. It ain't easy, but that's what I do for you. I have mastered myself knowledge. That's why I teach right thinking philosophy, so others can learn and do the same. You don't owe me nothing. I'm moving on. All right, here you go. 11, my numbers. All right. Having knowledge of self is life's goal. Getting education and going to college, that's fine, but that shouldn't be your goal. Knowing who you are should be more important than getting a degree from something. I'm just saying, let's back that up and get back to the lesson. All right. We all want to know who we are, or you would think. We are, who we are. Right thinking philosophy will answer those questions for you. I know. That's what I do for you. We go through life learning a lot of things except ourselves. Why? I didn't teach you that in school. In the household ain't correct. You ain't getting it at home. So where are you going to get the educational self from? Trial and error in life. That's not always the best way. I'm trying to help you out, okay? The name for the enlightened beings is Aku, A-K-H-U. I just talked about that, read about that. It's the spiritual enlightened beings. Every individual who reaches spiritual enlightenment, you become an Aku, an enlightened being. Putting yourself in position to live in the afterlife. That's the whole name of the game of this life. And if you don't get it right, you're going to come back again. So, I'm going there. I got to get this done. Sorry about that. All right. Having knowledge of self-life's goal, yeah. All right. You learn about the gods and goddesses, which is your personality, and you emulate them to change your life for the better, to become God-like. You emulate the gods and goddesses, and that's how it's done, through work, through understanding, studying, and living. Netarianism is the science, a.k.a. the study of the netters, a.k.a. gods. I study the gods. If you're conscious of yourself, you're a right thinker. My goal is to make everyone who follow me know who they are. That's the purpose. I want you to become God conscious. That's knowing yourself. I stay God conscious, so the devil don't bother me. I'm a hard nut to crack. He wants the easy ones. Most of y'all are easy. You're drifting anyway, so he just pick up what you give him, take it and run with it. The idle mind, if it ain't on God, it's the devil's trying to do what he do to you, or your ego trying to step in. That's who the devil really is, but nonetheless, I gave you that one already too. Here we go. Let me get this done. I'm sorry about that, but I'm trying to get across a point. When you master right thinking philosophy, you will be God conscious, okay? You will know yourself, and you will be comfortable with your understanding about God. Knowledge, a.k.a. right thinking philosophy, is what will raise your kundalini, okay? The serpent power that's within, a certain way of life, certain things you had to do to make it activate. To get the two girls, my twins, Nephthys and Aset, to work up in you spiritually when you're living and doing right. Okay, it's another lesson. Here you go. Right thinking philosophy is mastering yourself, aka Kundalini power, to become awakened. That's how it's done. I ain't going there. I'm about to wrap it up. Again, I appreciate you tuning in. I want all of us to know ourselves. That's right thinking's goal. That's my whole purpose of teaching this to any and everybody. It's easy to learn, easy to adopt, and it's free to do for yourself. The benefits are yours. Right living, a.k.a. Mayat Daily, and if you will have your own Nehast moment. We can't share in that moment. The experience with God is different for every individual. That's the difference. It's the same but different. If you understand that, take that. Now, morning routine. Praying, meditating, and working out is a good daily routine that I've been having in place for now 5 years. It works for me. I ain't telling you to go out and do this. I'm just saying what I do to reach the things I've reached. And things you might have to do those things. Get a routine. I ain't telling you what to do, but a routine daily. Get used to doing something 2 or 3 months. At least a 6-month program where you're going to change. And you'll see the difference. But if you say, I'm going to do it today and tomorrow, okay, it won't work. Daily. Sorry about that. All right. If you want to be your best self, you have to know yourself. Being a professional and having a whole bunch of degrees and titles don't mean you know you. I'm just saying. I teach right thinking philosophy to all those who are in what? Search of truth and knowledge of self. That's all I got for you. I teach spiritual truth. You have to conceive them, understand them, learn them, but the only way they play out is if you implement them and use them. I do, so I can teach them. If you learn them and don't use them, that ain't my fault, but trust me, if you do, you benefit. Again, trust me, I'm a sage. I know what I'm talking about. I want everyone to know themselves. That would make the world we live in a better place to live in. I'm just saying. I appreciate the time. I'll be back.